Okay, so this is a Highlander Scrim that we did just during the week. Um, it's on the new viaduct that we'll probably end up using in UGC next season. rc7, I think. Okay, anyways, so roll out here, just kind of stick around the middle of the point, wait for somebody to pop my DR. And so around here, I thought I was going to get the med with the stab. I pressed W, shouldn't have pressed W, but I shot him down anyway. Well, my soldier helped. And here I turned around, ran directly towards the pyro, because that actually helps you get away from them a lot of the time. Most pyros don't actually expect you to run at them. This next bit, I just couldn't believe. This bit, I was literally like, just confused at how quickly he reacted. Nobody around, see? Perfectly quiet, perfect, nothing going on, and sniper! Yes, so don't know what I could have learned from that. Probably half my DR already. So now I don't take the teleporter because the map is so small that it's better off to have one of my other teammates take it, and I don't want the teleporter trail. It's a big giveaway. So here I'm disguised as a spy because he's the only person who could be across the line. And now that I know the engineer is down, I disguise as him. And he's the same speed moving class, so it should be easier to do. And oh, fuck the stab up, and let's have it go. If I remember rightly, this pyro was actually pretty good. And here, I think I consider changing my loadout. Yeah, I switched to the bicycle. I should have had my DR going through that teleporter, that was bad. That's something you should really always do. Here, they have a fairly forward hold here at this point. Well, we're starting to push them back, so there's not a whole lot I can do with the dead ringer. I probably should have switched to the invis watch. No. Now it's acting time. There, I see the medic. Decloak just outside the range, and the pyro heard me as well. Forgot about that actually. Nope, down I go. And that's one of those situations where I had no idea that the pyro was there, so decloaking, I thought I was outside the distance, but that he'd hear me, but yeah, obviously, that's good headphones. Again, disguised as a spy so that he's the only person who'll be on this side of the line anyway. And here I call out to my scout that that's how low that soldier is. It's important if you have that information. Tell people. And here I'm just waiting for something to happen. Working across the line. I love that connector area because a lot of the time people aren't watching it. Sometimes, some teams, their combo, you see the soldier being there a lot. Well, not this team. And again here, I'm calling out the sniper's health. I couldn't believe this actually. The sniper is really, really good with, you know, when he's about 4 feet away from you. And after my scout died, he was actually watching this happen. And I was like, okay, I have him now. No! Sniper. Reaction times. I tell you, I must have had a ping of about 4. Here's Choco. He's our sniper. He's very good. No. Rolling out again. No. Here I feel like they're about to be aggressive because our med just went down, so this jump, I messed that jump up more times than I ever actually get it. No. Cycle around the house. Now here's a situation where I just basically, it was a situation where I kind of felt like they should have known and just panicked. Well, didn't panic. For a situation I should have panicked in, but instead just stayed calm and just move, try and be unpredictable, and it worked out. I won't say there was exactly a method to the way I was moving, it was more chance at that point. I knew I didn't have time to try to stair stab or anything, but okay, now here I thought that pyro actually spotted me, but he didn't. It's awful hard to predict when people won't see you. And that's our pyro. Apologizing for her computer crashing. So again, information, calling out to the soldiers and connectors so that our pyro can go and deal with them. Calling out where the demo man is, since I know. Free sap on the dispenser, so why not take it? And mess with the stab, and then finally get it. And yes, first round. And again, for start of the round, always call out what the medic is using. And a good tip that I learned is in pre-game, if the person is actually playing as medic, go spectate and just press F when you're looking at them and just see, because a lot of the time medics have names on things and it can be hard to see what they are. And calling the demo man is low and just gunning down. I don't particularly like the ambassador because I'm just not very good with it. I'm not saying it's a bad weapon or anything, but I just like the aggressiveness you can have when you're using the revolver, stock revolver at close range. Deals lots of damage. This is Lardox, he's our soldier, he's also very good, which you don't get to see here. So here's cliffside here. I'm just trying to get an angle on the heavy, just trying to do a bit of acting here. Also, if you get a free sap, it's debatable whether or not I should have gone for that because it doesn't really affect my team that much at the minute. But well, that heavy just gave that to me. The mini sentry really affects your soldier and your scout. If you can sap it at all, it's great, because the main thing about sapping it is, rather than destroying it, is that the engineer is rarely ever, especially on this map, gonna go and find it and knock the sapper off it. So it gives, you know, a couple of seconds where the sapper isn't on the, where the gun isn't shooting. There, I didn't realize he'd know where I was. So. Again, even when you're in death cam, be calling out where things you can see, because, like, you know, heavy in that situation, or our demo might have been focused on something else, so it's good just to call out where the sniper is. Here again, call him out, tell people that he's close on the right side, because that doorway, if you weren't expecting it, you could easily get sniped by him. There, just gun him down, close range. You should have the advantage. He's using the Razorback, but if you're using, especially if you're using the stock revolver, there's no reason you should lose to a sniper close range if he's by himself. And that's just a bit of a strafe into the demo man. I just saw him coming and sort of just looked out that he was that close. Now, DR is popped. I'm going to try and work through. I can see that he has the crits. I unfortunately get lit on fire here. I don't think I get this. Yeah, I went for a trick stab. No, didn't work out. Rolling out as a spy. It's funny how much more you can hear when I'm watching this back. I can hear a lot more, so I can hear the spy shooting. I can hear the decloaks and stuff, whereas I couldn't hear them with the comms when I was actually playing. Now at this point, I see everything going on, and I assume that the pyro can see me, so I just go straight for the stab before he can do anything. No. I get the sap on the gun at least, but I don't think this works out well for me. And if you do damage to somebody like where I hit that sniper, make sure and say it, because I mean the difference between having to get a headshot or a body shot can mean a lot for your sniper as well. Again, calling that the sniper is close, calling that he's full health, just important information. I don't know why I got so involved in that fight. I think I should really have just let my DR go and just get out of there. So here our demo man was actually having internet problems. So I'm sure you can guess, no spoilers, but you can guess how this round goes. So the demo man. And here, I'm just being ballsy. I don't really expect to get anything out of that. Just more a distraction because I see that my team is coming from the other side. And the pop does get forced out, but there, that's a stab on the spy. I think that might have just been a dead ringer though by him. Okay. Here, the engineer spots me. Which is fine. If you're at that sort of range, you know, they will call out that you have feigned, but if you do it enough, then you'll... can't believe that wasn't a stab. I got him anyway, but... yeah, it's one of those situations where, you know, you're just kind of using the feign to get behind them, rather than actually trying to fool them.
Mission ends in 30 seconds.
Yeah, sniper calls me out. So, I'm not that worried about him at the minute. I'm thinking more about... I don't know why I had my knife out there. If I had my knife out, I probably could have got that pyro actually. It's always very satisfying when you stab a pyro.
Mission ends in 30 seconds.
And here Lardox asked me to turn around so he can whip me. And away we go. Also, I find a lot of the time that if you are playing a spy, if you play a spy a lot, you can spot spies a lot easier. So it's no harm to tell people, like, when you think you've seen a spy. About 50% of everything you should do when you're playing spy, I find, is actually just give information. So here, that was again debatable. Our main caller was just shouting to get on the point because of the overtime, but maybe, I don't know, I don't think I could have really made a difference in the end anyway. So even if I'd gotten a big string of stabs, there's nobody else around to get on the point. Again, okay, so first thing I'm going to do, pull out my zapper and check that they're running the quick fix. That's important information. Through connector. I wouldn't usually use that rollout unless I was using the dead ringer. If I was gonna use my invis watch, I'd probably go by the left hand side of the point and grab the minimum ammo pack. I feel like I spent a lot of this dead. Calling out the soldiers here, and at that point I figured that this soldier stab probably wasn't the biggest, you know, my best option, so I was kind of trying to get behind. And at that point I feel like that dispenser sap was a mistake. It wouldn't really have achieved anything other than have their engineer tell people that I was behind. And it got me killed as a result, so yes. Our scout was pretty raging at this sniper at this stage. That I was surprised at. But at the same time, you do get some information from that, like the fact that if their spy is running around with his gun out a lot, then you're more believable as a spy disguise if you disguise as him and keep your gun out, because that's what their team are expecting. If they play with them a lot, especially. Now here I'm hanging out in connector. I don't know. Yeah, there's a pyro. If a pyro is chasing you like that and you're close enough to your team, a lot of pyros kind of get white line fever and just want to come after you until. So a lot of the time you can actually lead them into your team and get them killed, even though you don't do it yourself. Just a soldier stab just because he was out of position. It was a nice shot by Chaco. Also, always keep an eye on how much health you actually have compared to the enemies that you're fighting when you're using the dead ringer, because you have to imagine that you're going to take 10% of any damage that you're going to take. So if you're up against a soldier at close range and you have less than 10 health, there's really no point in using your dead ringer, you're as well off fighting them because you're going to take at least 10 health, take 10 damage even with your dead ringer at close range. So there comes a point where even your dead ringer is not going to save you. I don't know why I didn't stab this guy. I suppose at that point I had my gun out and. So here we have the point again. I see they're coming through connector. I'm just trying to act here. I don't know why I had my DR up at that stage. I probably should have kept it lowered. It ended up being less convincing because I feigned. Again, if I spot the spy like that, call him out. Unless somebody else has already done so. And here I'm doing something that I usually don't do, which is I spam my shots with the revolver. It's something that I don't do a lot of the time because I feel like it just makes my accuracy worse. I'm more relying on luck and this random spread than I am on any actual skill that I might have. Because my aim is quite good a lot of the time. People often compliment me on it, but it's harder when you're just relying on random chance. So here I call out that trap is there. That's important. My team was planning to push from cliff. It would be vital information. Health, unluckily, just get in the way of the demo man. I don't know if he actually saw me. And here, at this point, because we're defending so much, I'm pretty sure I did change my loadout. Yeah. Because I need to really get behind them. I'm not really doing anything on our side of the map, and there's just too much space to cover with the DR. So now, here's the sniper. I don't want to brush off him yet. There's too many players around him for me to really attempt to pick him. I don't know how the hell he didn't spot me there. Stop that. I hadn't seen that engineer. It just goes to show you that you really have a look around before you uncloak all the time. Every time you uncloak, just take a quick swing of the mouse around you. I probably should have, well, if I hadn't been fleeing around, I probably should have stayed invisible for a bit longer. Just worked my way around him until I knew he definitely wouldn't be turning. Okay, so check the menu. Let's tell my team about it, and then here I'm using the invis watch loadout, which is where you come up the cliff. An ammo pack here. Now I don't want to get hit by the pyro, so I have to go a different way. Heavy didn't hit me, which is just luck as well. Now, call out soldier and connector. Heavy's actually quite not the biggest pick mid ever, but if he's there you should probably try and get him. Now, moving around onto China. Peeking around corners is something you can do with the invis watch that you can't do with the DR. So here I don't know if anybody's seen me, so I'm just going to drop down, sat that. If you keep their dispenser down, it can be really, really frustrating for their engineer, and it's kind of, you know, it won't make the biggest difference ever, but if you can kind of annoy him enough, and if it's free as well, the free saps are there. I maybe should have been using the diamond back as well. That was just an easy stab. If you see somebody's looks like they're gonna back onto you, especially like that, that's sort of something that you learn from if a spy is trying to stair stab you, your movement should never be forwards. You should try and keep your eyes upwards and move back, and then try and have them sort of land on you almost. This is my Latranger, one of my favourite pistols. Now that sniper again, how many times have we seen him do that to our scout? Yeah, just keep him. I'm not necessarily trying to kill him, but I'm just trying to keep him pressured out now. Yeah. You could tell there that I was low, just because of that spam from that sentry gun. As well as that, another thing I was doing there was telling people that the sentry gun was actually there. It's not the most usual. There are a few spots that you really get used to seeing mini sentries on this map, and when people put them outside of those spots, it can really, you know, throw your team. So it's always good to just keep people informed, keep them in the know. Now, engineers there. Don't know why that wasn't a pit. Well, I had to do. Now, sniper knows I'm there, but hope it's not going to call me out. And I do get the heavy. At that point I kind of knew there was too many players chasing me, and I knew that I wasn't going to get away from them. It was just not with just the invis watch, so I said I just focus on the stab. At least I could take somebody out when I went. I don't know why I engaged in that fight either. I was, in some ways, I was getting kind of frustrated, and I was starting to get aggressive, and there was absolutely no need. It's one of the things that you should really... There's some fights that just aren't worth your time. Like, Engineer is a big pick in, you know, a payload map, but on a map like this, he's not really the best. One of the best things you can do in terms of the Engineer is just keep his teleporter down, keep his buildings down. He himself isn't really going to make that much of a difference. And I call out the Spy here, and don't know what happened there, fail stab. Because we have the point, I'm after switching back to my dead ringer, because I can be a bit more aggressive with it in terms of crossing the line. I have that much more space to work with that I don't need to cross the line from as far back. And the line is closer. Getting the saps. Know that the heavy is low, so do that, and then call out that the med is back there. Now, he's popped a quick fix, and one of the best things about quick fix, and still get stabbed. Same with the crit streak. Even if they do pop, if you can get yourself into a position where you know they're going to pop soon, and then you can just get on top of them. It's not like an Uber. You can still do a lot by stabbing them as soon as they pop. And you're one of the only classes that can do it. I mean, a fully charged headshot can take somebody out with a quick fix as well, but you know, they kind of need to have it ready. Stab kills them every time. Now, the Spy. At that point, I knew he was probably going to pursue me, so it was necessary to engage him, especially in that sort of narrow choke point area. Now, they're all up on cliff. I'm going to try and avoid the scout as much as possible. Soldier catches me out. I just wasn't really expecting him to come back. And we're going to overtime. I think we win this round anyway. And remember, if you're playing the DR Spy, you can actually cap on this map. It's actually quite helpful for you to do so. You can start caps and things with as much lower risk. If our scout was to go and try and start that cap, he'd be, you know, guaranteed to be engaged, and he'd have to sort of fight his way out. Whereas me there, you know, he can just turn invisible, get out of there. Again, running directly at the pyro. He's probably called it a Spy dead ringer on the. There was a dead ringer on the point. Get the heavy. Actually, I didn't even realize at the time these were on the brass piece. Just keeping the pyro engaged. If you know he's going to kill you, even if you don't manage to kill him, if you can just keep him tied up for long enough that he's not going to, you know, like there, for instance. Pyro can do a lot during the crits in terms of air blasting. Now, back to start of the round. This is a run the DR. I decided to go main this time. It's always good to sort of keep things as a spy. Kind of try and keep doing the same thing over and over again. Here I call that the scout is low. Just, I didn't even manage to kill him, but at that sort of range, I'm not doing anything else at this side of the point anyway. I should probably take pot shots at the scout. You took him out of the fight for long enough. Now here, decloak, lots of noise, hopefully. They know I'm there though. so I'm just going to circle around, just wait for them to sort of forget about me. Drop stab onto the demo. I know the pyro's going to chase me here though. And don't feel bad if the pyro's dominating you. I mean, if anybody's going to, it should be. Spies are natural enemy to the pyro. There's Oddish, the super aggressive demo man. Now, again, just this is information, just calling that they're all going to the right side. I might not necessarily be doing anything myself, but I don't really know why I went for that. Yeah, it doesn't help. I suppose that maybe I have something against engineers. I'm realizing watching this back. Okay, so pyro's right there. No point. But I do manage to get the sniper out of it. I mean, if I can, I'm gonna engage him. Might as well engage him, try and kill him. Just I knew that he was low. And at that point, I reckon I'd already been, you know, sussed. Now this, I don't know why I even got involved in this. I suppose I thought, again, I'm a bit too confident in my gun aim sometimes, but I was able to tell at least my soldier how low their soldier was. Shouldn't let him kill me though. No, I thought that was a spy. The spy was running around and sat in. Again, heavy at close range with the revolver, believe it or not, when he's distracted. A lot of heavies, when they see a spy right in front of them, aren't exactly going to panic. They're just going to, you know, fire at other targets. But you can do a lot of damage at close range if you're accurate. I mean, you're not really going to miss a heavy. And it can really make a difference to your team.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
No. Since I haven't got the luxury of being able to peek around corners visibly. Here. That was pure chance. Right there, things I could have done differently right there. There was a lot of luck involved in that, just in terms of where the medic was standing, but I kind of predicted his movement well from where I could see him. One of the biggest things you can always call out as well, mini sentry positions and sniper positions. It's a lot of information that your flank classes need. No, medic, let him bump me. He knows I'm there now. Also, one of the things is if you get bumped as a, I don't know what I was thinking there. Of course, that was just bad play. I don't know why I thought our soldier was. Of course, he wrecks his engineer here, but I don't know why I thought our soldier was on their team. He was being shot at by a blue mini sentry, but just sometimes you get that feeling that somebody's a spy. No. Mess up that jump, take fall damage, because I'm pro. Now, I don't really need the health of the ammo there. What I'm doing is I'm denying it from down. And that was a... No, didn't mean to decloak so soon there. Again, try and draw the pyro through the, across the line and into where your team can just kill them. It'll make your job a lot easier, especially if you survive.
Alert. Our control point is being captured.
You were just being paranoid, thinking something was coming to get me. Okay, I crouch here. Didn't get the stab. You just happened to see me that bit too soon. But it's also fine if you know that the push is going to come through like that. If you can pick a spot, there's a lot of times where if you can just pick a spot to stand, you can often get a pick right as soon as they enter, especially on a map like this where people run crits a lot. And that's the end of the game. Yep. 3-2. I felt like we could have done better, but oh